Here we go. There we go. Welcome everybody to the Nest BBQ Show on this good looking Saturday morning. Our special guest, Jim Reynolds, Talk Radio 102.3, my broadcasting mentor.
that's shoot low and you're never disappointed.
That's right, that's right. I'm Steve Ray. Pete will be back here next Saturday. We'll be doing the aged steak experiment. It's going on right now in my refrigerator at the house. We're brought to you by all the great rubs, sauces, and supplies here at the Nest BBQ Supply Store in Ottawa. We're also brought to you by the Green Mountain Pellet Grill and Smokers. We stock them all. So come out and get yours. We are your Green Mountain Grill dealer in the tri-state area. We're brought to you by Grill Grace. We'll be cooking on Grill Grace this morning in just a little bit. We're also brought to you by Budget Blinds, window treatments, and plantation shutters. What do they have to do with barbecue? Absolutely nothing at all. But if you need budget blinds, plantation shutters, call Budget Blinds, 344-7393. Ask for Sam.
Sam,
are you putting it together now?
Yeah.
That's for Sam.
Yeah.
All right. And don't forget, we are home with Dave Hooker's Chalk Talk, where every new episode can be heard right here every Tuesday on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Facebook page. The best insight to Tennessee football is right here with Dave Hooker and Chalk Talk. You can follow Owl's Nest Barbecue on Facebook and Instagram. Also follow and post your barbecue and live fire food pictures on our Owl's Nest Barbecue Nation Facebook page. It's where we all get together and eat virtually. Your questions and comments are, of course, always welcome on that page or any of the pages on social media where you find Owl's Nest Barbecue. Jim Reynolds, thanks for coming by.
I'm usually up this time anyway.
So. Now let me tell you about
Jim. Saturday.
Everybody, you're up. You slept in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to sleep in. When you're on my show, you get people hours. Let me tell you a little bit about Jim. Before I go through his, let me do this first. First of all, Jim, a member of the Tennessee Broadcasting Hall of Fame, right?
Yes.
Yes. Voice of the UTC football and basketball Mocs for 40 years.
42.
42 years.
I just finished what I call my Jackie Robinson years. So I did
42
my
years.
42.
All right. So I made this.
I might make 43. I've been asked to do 43.
I think this is accurate, second only to Luther Massengale in longevity on current host on the radio here in Chattanooga.
I think like right now I win that age battle.
Right now.
You know, they asked about more. Gene Lovin's been around a long time. Some guys have been around a lot longer than me, but as far as not being fired, you know, Gene's getting fired 2 or 3 times, and Max O'Brien had some other, you know, there have been other guys that have been around a long time. Gary Mack, you know, but he's, you know, unreliable. So.
Yeah, well, Jim told us about the invasion of Iraq, won, and he told us about the pulling out of Afghanistan. So everything in between there, Jim saw on the radio.
Just details.
Yeah, and also the morning host of Talk Radio 102.3, the morning press with Kevin and Brian. So you can hear him every weekday morning between 6 and 10 on Talk Radio 102.3. We're gonna be doing burgers. You know, I wanted to have you on, Jim, and I've told this story before. You didn't get me started in barbecue, but you picked my interest in it. This was years ago. We'd gone somewhere. I think it was one of the kids when the kids were just real little, Kelly, and the kids were just small. And we went to some school thing. We went back to your house to make burgers. And Jim and I thought, you know, I had a gas grill, and I wasn't anything special with it, but I thought everybody had a gas grill. We went out on Jim's porch, and he had a charcoal grill. Went out there, he poured the bag in there, had one of those little electric starters, I remember.
Which I still use.
Yeah, and started the charcoal, and I just stood back and went, wow, this is cool. This is kind of like the last time.
This is caveman.
Yeah, the last time I saw that was my dad did it. And you know, I've still got that picture somewhere from 1960 of Dad without a shirt, manning the grill. I mean, you know, none of our dads wore shirts of whatever reason. And I thought, you know, that's pretty cool. So I went out and got a charcoal grill. I did. I went up to that week and I said, I want a charcoal grill too. And I wasn't any good at it, so but I had one. And you had inspired me to go back to that route. So we're going to be doing burgers here in just a few minutes on a charcoal grill, going back old school.
Right.
It's warming up right now. But Hall of Fame broadcaster, you've been a part of the Chattanooga media landscape as long as I've been in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
I remember listening when I opened the gas station in 1983, the 83-84 Mocs basketball team. I had a little radio out here while I worked at night, and I would turn you on and listen to the Mocs, and I thought, hey, this guy's pretty good. and little did I know that we would become such good chums. What is your first play-by-play game that you did? I mean, what was number one? In what age, what year, who was it, and who was it?
Okay, here's the deal. This actually, how much time do we have?
It's the internet, baby. We got all morning.
Okay, when I'm in high school, I'm interested in broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do that. But my dad, I found out this later, my dad had a business, which I did know that. And he always told me, I want you to help me. I have two brothers and a sister, so there are other choices. But my dad always said, I want you to help me with this business. And what I didn't know is the reason he wanted me to help him with his business is he didn't think I could make it in anything else. That's true. They said, Jim's going to fail at anything else. He'll flunk out of college, so why waste the time? So, Jim, I want you to help me run this business. Well, my senior year in high school, my dad dies. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, we sell the business, a little business. We sold Soda Pop. He was a distributor and had a warehouse and had little outlet stores. Anyway, so here I am, a senior, and he dies in October, my senior year. And I was running cross country at that time, and it happens to be this. A lot of people don't know. So I'm running cross country, and yes, I could run cross country at the time. But one of my cross country coaches, in fact, both of them, we had a coach and assistant coach. They were both counselors. So I knew them pretty well. So one day after the funeral and this and this and this, and cross country season's over, they call me in and they go, what are you going to do now? I don't know. I have no idea. You know, most people by the time they're senior, they've taken their ACT and SAT and they've made applications at different colleges. I didn't have a clue. And it's time. Now it's November. They go, I said, well, I'm interested in broadcasting. I like sports. I think that's something I could do. So they said, okay. They said, okay, Illinois State, close to here. What they didn't say is, again, between the lines is, we think you can get in with your grades. So, so they pushed me, and I applied to Illinois State, and I got accepted. Which, you talk about upsets in sports. That's the biggest upset. So I got accepted. I went to Illinois State. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I went into broadcasting. I had success. First semester I was there, I was on the low campus radio station. I said, yeah, I can do this. So I was a news guy. All the time. And so I was going through news, and there's a little tangent there. But anyway, so I'm going through news. I want to be a news reporter. That's what I want to do. I enjoy it. I'm interested in politics and leaders and how things work and how laws are made and all that kind of stuff. So I start working at a little radio station. I'm poor. I'm college poor. And a new ownership group takes over this little radio station. They're going to put more of an emphasis on sports and play-by-play, and they think they could make some money doing that. Okay, good. They go, we need another play-by-play guy. And they're paying $10 a game. $10 to do a high school game. Mm-hmm. Shoot! I'm in.
You're in.
So they had a guy that worked for in their chain, and this will be another tangent as well, by the name of Joe Hoffman. Joe Hoffman worked for their chain, and he started he was on like Christmas break going to college. He's on Christmas break, and he's doing some games, and they said, teach Jim how to do some games just so he'll know. So Joe teaches me how to do some high school games, and again, I'm getting that $10 a game. So I go, I really like this. So I started doing high school play-by-play for $10 a game. So that would be like 1975 or 70, probably 76, somewhere in there. I'm good at it. So then I'm doing high school games. I'm doing high school football, high school basketball. I get on the Illinois Wesleyan broadcast. Our station was the home of Illinois Wesleyan University, which anyone will remember a long time ago. If you got a good memory, you remember Jack Sikma, who played with the Seattle Supersonics and Milwaukee Bucks, the little Division III school in the middle of Illinois, Illinois Wesleyan. So anyway, so I start doing their games as well. I love it. The next year, the guy that was one of the ownership of our station owned the University of Illinois network. His name was Dick Martin. He passed away recently. Dick Martin, he knew everyone. He's a gazillionaire. And he owns our station. He owns lumber yards and travel agencies and banks and all this kind of stuff. But his hobby was he did the broadcast radio for the University of Illinois. So some guy got...
Even then, that's big.
Oh, it's huge.
The Fighting Illini are big then.
Oh, they're big now.
You're just post Red Grange in those days.
Well, maybe post Dick Butkus.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they have a network of 25 stations in Illinois. So he and the guy from Notre Dame that does play-by-play gets hurt, gets sick. So that guy, Dick Martin, is going to fill in for him, and they said, we need someone to do Illinois. Jim Reynolds will do it. Jim Reynolds. So one night I'm doing University High School versus Central Catholic, and the next night I'm doing Illinois and Michigan State, and the next night I'm doing Illinois Wesleyan and Millikan College, and then the next night I'm doing Illinois and Indiana. It was crazy. So I'm doing all these games. So eventually, the people in town, we were such a small station. We get crushed every time. We were barely on the radar screen. But the big monster in town, they liked me. And so they hired, they wanted to hire me. So they said, do you want to come to work for us? I said, no, because I'm doing Illinois, I'm doing all this kind of stuff. I said, well, we're trying to buy these stations in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and get a sports contract there. Would you be interested? I go, yeah, sure, call me. Sure enough, spring comes around. They call me and said, hey, we bought these stations in Chattanooga. Great. We have the contract for the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Fantastic.
This is 79-80.
This is 79-80. So they said, would you be interested in interviewing for this job? So anyway, Don Newberg, who became the general manager here in Chattanooga, he was in Bloomington Normal. And I was doing high school games at that time. There was an all-day tournament. He goes, well, when you get some time off, I'll meet you for lunch and we'll talk. So we talked. I really liked him. I liked him a lot. He said, will you take the job? I said, I don't know. He said, why don't you come down? I said, you know what? My wife and I, when this is already planned, my wife and I, Patsy Reynolds, the former Mrs. Reynolds, Patsy, we're going to Disney World. We're already going to Disney World planning. I said, well, here's the deal. We're going to Disney World. I'll stop on by. He goes, we'll put you up for a night. I go, that's $50 save right there. So we're on our way to Disney World. We stopped here in Chattanooga, stayed at the Drake Hotel in downtown Chattanooga for one night, stayed at Newberg's the next. They interviewed me, liked me, hired me. I loved Chattanooga at the first instance. I really did. And I liked him. I liked the people at the radio station, Dance and Dorothy and, Gary Mack.
And this is the time when the Mocs had a play-by-play guy before you.
Bill Nash.
Who's there a long time as well.
Yeah.
So we're talking almost a span of what? 85, 90 years with two guys?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Bill Nash and Jim Thrasher were doing the games at that time. But anyway, Don Newberg said, no, we want a fresh start. So we're going to hire this young guy, underpay him a lot. So anyway, I ended up taking the job. We moved down here, and I've kind of been here ever since. Here's the two tangents. The guy that taught me, I said his name is Joe Hoffman. Joe Hoffman graduates from Harvard Law, and becomes a judge. And one time he goes, and I see him, he's in the Southern District, I think, which is in Savannah. So I see Joe, when I'm here pretty early on at a Georgia Southern game, Joe comes by, he goes, I really like this. Here's a guy, a judge and a lawyer, making 1,000 times more than what I'm making. He goes, I think I want to get back into radio. I said, Joe, let's think about this for a second. And Joe is now the law professor at Indiana University. Joe Hoffman taught me. The other tangent is, and this was in the news yesterday, when I went to Illinois State, one of the guys that was also in the broadcast department, he was the play-by-play guy. our little student station, we did all the Illinois State Redbird games, and they had good basketball. If you see Doug Collins doing a game, Doug Collins was the #1 pick in the NBA.
Made the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Made the cover of Sports Illustrated. He's an Illinois State graduate. John Malkovich went to Illinois State, but unlike me, he did not graduate. So anyway, one of the guys I'm with is Mick Hubert. Now, Mick was in the news yesterday because he just retired after 33 years as the voice of the Florida Gators. So Mick and I are in the same broadcast, and Mick and we're buddies, and so Mick and I get an internship with this little country station in town that does Illinois Wesleyan, and that guy's name, Larry Deitch, Larry Morgan, he's our mentor for both me and Mick, and we would give him tapes of play-by-play and different things, and he would critique us and all that kind of stuff. Mick and I went on, we worked together in Peoria. You talk about the Mocs. The Mocs' first NCAA tournament as Division I. They went to Dayton. Mick was working in Dayton at that time. He hung out with us that whole time, and then he got the job over me, I might add. Mick got the job over me at the University of Florida.
Wow. When you guys like you, Jim, when you're sitting around and we're watching, and we've watched several games together, and you don't do it out loud, but in your mind, are you doing it? Are you doing play-by-play in your mind?
A lot of times, yes. Here's what spoiled me. It's ruined baseball for me. Excuse me. I umpire high school baseball. When I watch a baseball game now, I'm watching the umpires. I'm watching what they do, what their position is, aside from all the other stuff. And I'll listen to the broadcast. So I don't know if I'm doing that or paying attention to what they do, or see what I could steal a phrase or whatever, in what situation, how they set it up. So yeah, I do that, even still.
I knew you guys did that. I don't say you could sit there and not or critique the guy. Or like going, Joe Buck is terrible. Joe Buck is horrible.
Well, I don't know if I do that, but I did watch Joe Buck on the Manning cast in the PGA tournament. Did you ever watch the Manning cast on the Monday Night Football games?
Yes.
They're doing that for the PGA Championship, and Joe Buck is in charge of it. So they have an alternate telecast. And it'll be today. It's all 4 days of the tournament. And Joe Buck is hosting that, and it's okay.
I'm with you. We don't want to get on Joe Buck. But as with
Let me tell you my Joe Buck story.
Okay, all right.
I got a good Joe Buck story. I don't know if people remember, Jim Kelch was the voice of the Chattanooga Lookouts before Larry Ward. So Jim Kelch is doing the game, and me and Kelch, we become buddies. Now, Jim Kelch eventually becomes the play-by-TV voice of the Cincinnati Reds. So Jim made it in the world. So Jim is doing the Lookouts. Then he gets the call to do the AAA Louisville baseball team affiliate of the Reds. So Jim and I kept in touch, and this is before internet and Facebook. We'd call each other, blah, 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 blah. And so Kelch is doing AAA baseball. He's one step away from the majors. He's close. And one of the times I call him, he goes, yeah, I'm going to train my replacement.
Joe Buck.
Joe Buck. And, of course, Joe Buck, who has the name, Jim Kelch, who doesn't. Joe Buck goes on, and Jim Kelch is actually better. Anyway, so Kelch does the Reds. Now, I've seen Jim Kelch. He's been in Chattanooga, in fact, a couple of times, because he is the voice of Northern Kentucky. He does play-by-play for Northern Kentucky, University of Northern Kentucky, the Norseman. And anyway, so I've seen Kelch a couple of times.
Isn't it amazing that throughout all the changes, social media, media in general, television, streaming, that radio broadcast of games is still around and it still fits?
I've told my folks at Learfield, who owns the rights for the Mocs, and that's who I work for when I do UTC, I said, you know I'm a dinosaur, right? Yes, we do. I go, okay. As long as we all understand that, we can move forward. So, yeah.
I think it'll stay like that, though, because there's something about you get a connection to the local guy. I look at the connection to John Ward, the connection,
no question,
to
Munson
to you,
at Georgia, or
Munson and all of them,
or Eli at Alabama. All those, or go Mike Keith and Bob Kessling and all those guys. Yeah, absolutely,
fantastic.
Yeah.
And like with every creative mind comes a creative hobby. and now I want Jim, I want you to take us through the Reynolds Burger. Okay, now off camera we've got a little Reynolds here, Squeak, and we're gonna make sure that he follows the recipe. Okay, Squeak. All right. So Jim, there you go. There's your meat there. I've got you a press here, And while you're doing that, I'm going to slice up the tomatoes, and then we're going to go out to the charcoal grill that's getting hot right now. We're going to do this thing old school.
Well, I'm all about old school. Like when Steve asked me to do this, I said, you will not learn anything from me. You will not learn any. I'm caveman. And basically what I say is, and we're surrounded by all this great rubs and sauces and all that kind of stuff. I'm caveman. I'm old school. I don't put a whole lot on anything I cook. Now, here's what I know. When I cook something on my little Weber grill that you talked about.
Weber kettle.
Yeah, with the good old-fashioned, Kingsford and the lighter and all kinds. I don't use lighter fluid. That's my only caveat.
I don't either.
No lighter fluid. I use that same electric ring to get the charcoal started. Someone in my house is going to be happy because I cook for me, I cook for Squeaks, and if it doesn't turn out right, I throw it over the side, and my dog Jake eats it. So someone's going to be happy, either Squeaks, me, or Jake. If I burn something, here, Jake, here you go. And he hasn't turned down anything yet,
It's a pretty good world making 3 people happy.
Yeah. Well, I've never hit the trifecta.
Well,
but one of these days it'll happen.
In this situation, we always turn to.
Yeah.
There's one thing that we do turn to when we do burgers. Here, Jim, this is the only thing I'm gonna ask you to digress from. You may be a salt and pepper guy. I don't know. Are you?
No. Absolutely. Okay. But sometimes if I do chicken or something else, but
But we're going to sell. We're going to put on the salesman's cap now, okay? And I'm the world's worst salesman. I'm a good concierge though. And I've got this stuff right here.
This is the Kevin West should be doing one of my cohorts in the morning.
We will have Kevin on.
Kevin should be doing this endorsement because this is his go-to.
This is Butcher Barbecue's grilling addiction. As Pete and I always say, nothing goes on, anything cooked at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Store without grilling.
Then I will use this today. I will purchase it when we're done, and I will give it. If Steve Ray and Kevin West say.
Now how do you use it? Do you season it up before you make the ball, or do you season it after you make the burger? Some people put it in there and smash it all around, and put it in while they're smashing it.
All the above.
Okay, all right.
So I do.
So you're not bad.
And the same with onions.
Okay. You want onions in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I need to get on the ball then. I'm sorry. I'm a good sous chef. I can do this. I'm gonna cut these up a little bit for you. All right?
Oh yeah.
These are from last Saturday, so these are gonna be nice. So you put the onions in the pan.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. I've never known anybody that does that. See, I knew I'd learn something.
And see,
anything else? Any celery, or is it just onions?
No,
like a meatloaf.
When I make meatloaf, my kids laugh at me. When I make meatloaf, it's anything I have that I need to get rid of in the refrigerator. I'll put tomatoes in, celery in, onions in, old socks, whatever it is. Now, this one I didn't put stuff in. Here's how you make a burger patty. Do you use this press? I actually have a press and I use it sometimes. But my method is really this.
Oh,
hey,
okay.
Look at that. Warm it up.
Look at that.
Warm it up in my hands. Slam it down, not quite the 97 mile an hour fastball, but maybe 80, maybe 88 or something like that. So yeah. So I want them thin, but not too thin.
All right. Well, there's your tomato. There's your onions.
I'm just gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna restart.
Okay.
I got a couple more pitches.
I'm gonna go while you're doing this. I'm gonna go get a tray. Okay. Put those on.
So I don't put a ton in there. And again, I hate greasy hands. See, Steve is way too sophisticated for what I do. Like I said, I'm sitting out on the back deck. My dog is out there, and I usually have a product of alcoholic content made in St. Louis or owned in St. Louis at some point in time. So
I knew as soon as I left, he'd get inappropriate. All right, there's our little thing to take him out to the grill. So our director's here. I'm gonna show the audience where we're going to be with that grill, if you don't mind.
See, this is nothing fancy. Like I said.
Oh. There you go, right there. There you go. We'll be out there in just a little bit. That is a PK grill. It's an all aluminum grill. Made with, we got the charcoal going on inside of it right now. Okay, bring her back in. We got Jim's daughter here, Squeak. She is monitoring her dad, and my daughter Emma is directing the show this morning.
A lot of places that's called child labor, but here we call it all in the family. So
I like this. Look at that. Squeaks, if you would you pick that up and take that over there?
Squeaks could be a hand model.
Just take that to the camera.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's see.
You got to tilt it a little bit. Yeah. So don't dump it on the ground.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Look at that. You see the big chunky.
You could be, who was it?
In there?
Carol Merrill. Let's see what Carol Merrill has behind, curtain number 2.
It's Vanna White now, Jim.
Yeah, well.
Carol Merrill.
She was on Let's Make a Deal, am I right?
Bob Barker, they don't remember Bob
Barker.
No,
I was in Monty Hall.
Monty Hall, yeah.
So I'm doing that.
Okay, you've got the onions in there.
Sprinkled it in, put some onion in.
All right, and I like the next part. I like the next part.
Hey!
I like that. I like that. That's kind of the Emerald Lagasse method. Bam!
Yeah, there you go. Or,
like
I said, I'm just a caveman.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So yeah, that looks good to me. So I'll throw it on the grill.
All right, you got enough for one more.
Oh yeah, more.
Plenty of onions there. And we got cheese for the end of it too. We'll bring them back in here and make them up after we grill them. While Jim's doing this, I want to remind everybody, or announce, I guess, would be the proper thing, that last weekend at the Memphis in May barbecue competition, they also judged sauces and rubs. David Bosca's honey rub was voted the best rub on the planet by an esteemed panel of judges at Memphis in May, part of the Memphis Barbecue Network. And you may think, big deal. Well, in the things that we do, that David Bosca does,
Memphis in May
that's huge.
Even I know about that.
And this is a big deal. So the honey rub from Butcher Barbecue, available here at the Allison's Barbecue Supply Store. The best rub on the planet, voted that last weekend.
I've heard you talk about Chattanooga being a sweet barbecue kind of town. Is that correct?
Yes, very, very sweet.
So a lot of brown sugar.
Sweet.
The brown sugar country.
Right. They've got, you can put in Chattanooga, you can put this together with this, throw some brown sugar in it, and you'll have the perfect barbecue sauce.
Now
it is super sweet.
Another thing I do, this is a plug for my buddy Scott Chase. Sometimes in a rare moment, even in a meatloaf, meatloaf is good. I'll take his old 41 barbecue sauce, which isn't real thick or isn't real sweet, but it gives you enough of both. I'll just dump really half a bottle in a meatloaf.
On the top of
it?
No. In it
when I'm making it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Now I do barbecue sauce on top before I put it in the
I do that
smoker.
sometime. Sometimes on top, sometimes put bacon on top or whatever. You see people, thread the bacon in there on occasion.
Oh, I like that.
That's
all right,
way
good
too.
deal. All right, Emma, if you'll play the commercial, there you go. And we're going to go outside to the, if you'll grab that. Sweet, there you go.
Oh, that's the burger lady.
Let's take it real soon.
Emma, you let us know when that thing's over.
You know we got what you need.
All right, thank you. Welcome out here. We're out here on the porch.
Oh, we're out here on the back.
Let's see, Squeaks, you stand over there, because there's the camera right there. And everybody's looking. We got the 3. Yeah, watch the core. We don't want to mess up everything.
This is typical JR. They're 3 different sizes, basically.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Now, Jim, what we're going to be cooking them on today is a PK grill. This grill.
Here, I'll hold you.
This grill was.
This is heavier than I thought it was.
Yeah, we're stoking at about 300 degrees, which is perfect because it's surface temperature. We can check it right now. Now we're not. I know you don't geek out or anything like that, but I'm just curious because we've got grill grates on here, and those you're gonna like these grill grates.
Gotcha.
I promise you. We're gonna see how hot they are. That's 490. That's perfect. That is perfect. 515 over on that side. Over here we're up to 555. So we are ready. We are ready to cook. Now, what I like to do, instead of using Pam, I like to use
shaving cream.
Duck spray.
Ah!
Duck spray. If you ever wondered what duck spray was for, this is what duck spray is for right here. All right, and that's
so it won't stick?
Yeah, it won't stick. All right. If
Let me
you
tell you something before I do that. If you see, I see on all these shows where the grates on the grill are shiny and new. That's someone I don't trust.
right.
That's because they ain't been there.
Who has a shiny and new grill that they're using?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody that does
Nobody.
it and like that. But on all the cooking, on Rachel Ray or whoever.
I'm gonna get out of the way.
So you just want me to throw it on?
Yeah, so Emma can go to the other camera and get the, there you go. Oh, got that sizzle, listen to that sizzle. Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, that sounds great.
It does.
That sounds great. Now, are you a hood up guy or a hood down guy?
See,
Now, you're pretty hot. You're pretty hot here, sir.
I usually go, and the reason I do this is not because some tactic other than if I go hood down, it'll take longer and I probably won't burn it. Probably. Mm-hmm. But I could burn. So I'm usually a hood down guy because I like smoky meat. Mm-hmm. This is me. Like I said, I'm a caveman. I'm a carnivore.
So that's why the charcoal. You
Yeah.
want the old-fashioned charcoal taste.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I'm going to let it
Okay.
get little.
Well, here's your spatula, and I'm gonna let you take over. You can move those things around.
Well, I'm not very good at this.
Yes, you are. That's going to be so cool. Move that one back just a
Now I
little
was going
bit.
to say,
Yeah, move him back.
See,
Move that little guy back. Yeah, see, you got it.
In the slats,
Isn't that
that's
cool?
awesome.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Those are grill grates. We sell those here too. They get a little bit hotter because it's aluminum than the actual grate does.
Huh.
So you'll get about 50 more degrees on those. And you'll notice that you won't get a flare up when you're using these.
That's a deal.
Nothing worse than trying to cook and you got fire and everything coming up.
Yeah.
You won't get that on there. The PK grill, it's an interesting item. It was made, let's see, Emma, if you'll go to that camera over there. It was built, Jim, back in the 50s.
This grill.
Yes, real popular in the 50s and 60s. A lot of homes had them. It's made of aluminum. It lasted forever. You can leave it outside, out in the rain.
Won't rust.
And rust. Then the 70s came. The gas grills were everywhere. This company goes out of business. Back in the early 2000s, there's an attorney from Arkansas. He's at a yard sale. He sees this grill out at a yard sale. He goes, "My dad had one of those." He's talking to the guy. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "It's called a portable kitchen PK grill." And he says, "Boy," he goes, "I'd like to get one of those." The guy says, "You can't. They're out of business, and but you can buy this one." So he buys it.
Yeah.
So he does the
He's a
research.
good salesman.
Buys the
Specs.
the specs out of bankruptcy somehow, and opens the company again, and starts manufacturing these things. Old school, still made of aluminum, won't ever rust. If you buy this, it's the last one you buy, because it will not rust, and they last forever.
Is it still the PK grill?
Yeah, the portable kitchen. Now on this thing, you can grill on it. You can actually set it up to smoke on it. I've cooked pork butts. I've cooked briskets on this, offset.
Yeah.
It's quite a. It's really quite a little. If you live in an apartment complex, or if you're just not into wanting to spend the big money on this stuff, get one of these things. You can do it all.
See, this would be an upgrade to what I have right now. So yeah.
But they're pretty neat. Now we were talking before. What are some of your? Give me a grilling story. You've got to have a grilling story, a fail or a success story that you're cooking for somebody, or even better. Now you are a professional eater. You're no amateur. Okay, because you travel.
Yeah.
And you've traveled with Mike Royster, Mac McCarthy, Shulman. You've traveled with the great ones. Give me a good barbecue story, a place where you all ate that was either so great or so bad, or somebody's behavior was bad at the place.
I don't know about the statute of limitations, but we always, one of the best steak places in the state of Tennessee. There's one place in Memphis, I think the Cattlemen's Club in Nashville. If you've never been to the Peerless Steakhouse in Johnson City, it is absolutely awesome. The Peerless. Now, Senator Bo Watson, I think they have a little gentleman's bet with one of his senator friends from Johnson City on the Mocs, East Tennessee State, and the loser has to buy at the Peerless. But we would go
Expensive?
Huh?
Expensive.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be because you have to get a shrimp cocktail.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to do the whole thing. But the best steak, at least in East Tennessee, is at the Peerless. Now, what's the place in Knoxville? The steakhouse that they always go on game day and all that kind of stuff. I haven't been there, but that's the place I need to go. But the Peerless, we used to go every year for football and basketball. And Mac McCarthy, and there's no number two. He is the eating guy. We would go no matter where we went. He knew where to go. He knew the place to go. Now, he was that barbecue guy. I think we always joked that he would plan road trips to places that had good barbecue place. Now, we played Alabama at Alabama a couple of times in basketball, and the only reason was to go to Dreamland.
Yeah.
You know, what's the place, Sprayberry in the Atlanta area? There's some big barbecue place there that he had us going.
Not to interrupt, but real quick.
Yeah, we're almost at flip time.
Put the spatula under that one, and just turn it 45 degrees. Pick it up and just turn it. Yeah, put it down. There you go. Do the other two like that too. You're gonna see something really neat.
I don't know if I can get to that one.
Yeah, you can go in from front. Yeah.
But we would go to the Peerless, and it would be everyone.
There you go.
It would be our whole traveling crew. So that would be assistant coaches. We went to the Peerless one time. Wimp Sanderson, former Alabama basketball coach, he was doing color on the TV. He was with us. Norm Sloan, who won a national championship with David Thompson at NC State.
Yep.
He was doing color one year on the TV broadcast. He went with us. So yeah, Butch Estes. Butch was the head coach at Furman for a long time. I think he's at Berry College in the Miami area now coaching. Anyway, all these different people went with our main group, which is Royster and John Gibson, who's now at Baylor, and John Goddard, who was at East Ridge for a long time. And so the assistant coaches, Henry Dickerson would come with us, LJ Kilby, our group, me and Todd. Todd would come with us sometimes, and of course Royster and his manager and stuff. So we would always eat at the Peerless, and the best part was we would get a private room at the Peerless, especially for football when we would have a lot of people. We'd get a private room at the Peerless.
The best.
And raise hell. I mean, it was like, and we ate great, and it was one of those things. You wouldn't eat much for lunch that day because we'd usually end up going on a Friday, eating there Friday night, and then the game on Saturday. But it was awesome. So the Peerless in Johnson City. Peerless in Johnson City. If you don't believe me, ask Bo Watson, because Bo Watson's a fan of the Peerless. John Schulman is a huge fan of the Peerless.
You're ready to flip those, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and flip.
Are we
them
good?
over. Yeah, you turn them over. And I want you to see. That's right, you're left-handed. I forgot.
That's right.
Now look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Grill marks
look
and
at
everything.
that.
That's
look
awesome.
At that. Emma, get that picture on the grill there. You got those cross-hatched grill marks on there. That's what that
the
grill grate will
45.
do. Yeah.
The
That's what the
45.
grill grate does. Look
That's
how
awesome.
Look how that looks.
That's awesome.
Isn't that nice? Squeaks, isn't that nice? Emma, can you see that in there? Isn't that nice? Emma wouldn't eat a hamburger if it was the last thing on earth.
Squeaks and them are not quite as impressed as you and I are. Have you noticed that? They're enthusiastic. They're able to dial it down better than we are.
As far as barbecue goes, favorite barbecue restaurant in town, and if you don't want to stay in town, I understand, or wherever you have traveled, and you've traveled all over the United States, but favorite, and I'm talking food, quantity, quality, and atmosphere. Just barbecue, not steak, barbecue.
Well, I mean, right down the road, couches. If you get the couch potato at couches, you're good for
couch potato and hot slots.
Yeah. You're good for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But my buddy at Shuford's, Jeff Davis, Jeff is my man, and that's one of those. I've known Jeff for a long time. Back to the Mac McCarthy days, and I think Mac put Shuford's on the map.
You did?
We would go to, I'd get a phone call 10:30 in the morning. 10:30 in the morning, McCarthy, and this even before cell phones. I didn't have a cell phone anyway. He goes, 11 o'clock, Shuford's, see ya. 4 words. Yeah. 11 o'clock, Shuford. You get to Shuford's, Mac would go behind the counter, grab the thing, and take your order. And goes, okay, Jeff, here's what we want. And Jeff would bring us out, sausage and stuff for our appetizer and all that kind of stuff. We would sit and eat, but Mac, and again, the guys I talked about earlier, Bert Caldwell and a bunch of us, we'd spend 2 hours at Shuford's wasting time. And get back to the radio station. JR, where you been? At a business luncheon. I was
Good
working,
food, good
I was working
atmosphere.
on some scouting reports with Mac because we got a big game coming up.
Good food, and good atmosphere.
So my buddy Jeff at Shuford's is holds a special place in my heart. And his barbecue's good too.
You know, a lot of people can cook on feel and look. I can't. I don't have that gene, JR, so I have to depend on a thermometer. Now, I like my burgers rare, and I know everybody's going, but that's just...
Steve does like his burgers rare. They're rare. Mine are pink in the middle, but
You can pass mine over a big lighter. I'm good. They call those up in Pittsburgh, my uncles used to eat raw hamburger meat. Call them cannonball sandwiches.
really,
Yeah, tough men.
I can eat
They didn't live long.
Yeah, I was going to say. But they lived well.
They lived well. They sure did. We're grilling here with Jim Reynolds, voice of the Mocs, host on Talk Radio 102.3, The Morning Press, broadcast veteran, Hall of Famer here in Chattanooga.
That's pretty good now. I think the grill marks makes it.
I think they're done. I really do. I think they're done. You want to double check? You don't want to double check? You can double check.
2 more minutes.
Okay. 128. 173 on the edges, Jim.
Well, we'll let them rest for a little bit.
Of course, it's hot. All right, 2 more. I can live with 2 minutes. I can live with 2 minutes.
Now it's only 90 seconds.
Since you're the guest. If we were at the house, we'd be pulling them.
Gotcha.
You ever cooked for an event? Anybody ever asked you to come to an event? JR, we need you to cook.
No, I've done celebrity servers.
Yeah.
UTC had well, you know this, the wing contest a couple of years. I got to judge that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With a bunch of Mocs offensive linemen, and they tore through those things. That was pretty fun.
I hope they start that again.
Yeah, I mean,
That was a lot of fun.
yeah. And the last time around was really fun. They really had a good participation. I think you
We did, yeah. We were
You
there.
were the advisor, concierge, as they say in The Godfather or whatever. Okay, I'm ready.
I only do that because I hope to win. But it didn't. But Jay Grecian was up there, and he wouldn't know a good wing if you hit him in the head. All right, there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. There you go. Put that hood down for me, if you don't mind, please.
I'm not going to burn myself.
No, oh no. There you go.
Steve
All
can
right.
tell me about. I have to clean the grill afterwards as well. So clean and do the dishes and all that kind of
We'll
stuff.
go back in here. If you'll come back on the, you know where to go. JR has. Oh, look at those. Look at those. things. Now, are you?
That's pretty good effort.
Now,
right there.
are you an advocate? Let's see. Are you an advocate of resting? Are you resting your steaks and burgers and things like that, or do you pretty much pull them off and just let's go?
I think I'm supposed to be an advocate of resting, but I usually just pull them
Just
off.
pull off
'cause
and
I'm
say, let's
so
go.
hungry. Yeah, but a couple minutes probably doesn't hurt most of the time.
I like to rest a steak a little bit.
Yeah.
I like to rest a steak.
Yeah.
My burger's not that important.
How do you age a steak? What's the difference between aging a steak
Well,
and it going bad in my refrigerator?
Right,
Because I
right.
have some things that are aging right now that
Yeah.
I need to clean the refrigerator.
What we're doing right now, we've got 4 New York strips in my refrigerator to house.
So I'm a New York strip guy. That's me.
That's me. That's all I get. I just love them, and I've got them wrapped in 3 layers of gauze, and I've got them pushed in the back of the refrigerator. Now I use my garage.
So that'll
refrigerator.
keep it won't spoil and it.
No. It'll get hard. They'll get hard as rocks, and you'll think next week when we bring them in, you'll think these are going to be terrible. When you unwrap them, they're going to be hard. Like hammer them with a nail.
Really?
Yeah, but when you cook them, the moisture comes back, and it's just, they're fantastic. And that's not even 14, 13 days aging. That's amateur. I mean, that is amateur level.
So when someone said we age our beef, they're talking about how much?
Most beefs age 28 days anyway.
Really?
And then you can do what you want. Chef Dow Lee from Chattanooga, who's in Knoxville now, he's an age expert. He gets them out there to 78, 85 days.
Really?
And he gets the funk on them. And the funk is the mold.
I don't know if
And
I'd
you
do
gotta-
that.
you
I
gotta-
don't know if I'm going there.
You got to cut it off and then cook them. And the downside is it makes them smaller, but the upside
Yeah.
is they taste even better.
Huh.
There are people out there that age for over 300 days.
Huh.
There's a place in Chicago that does aging 300 days. They've got a special room. It's got Mediterranean salt blocks in it. It's a real science. But you know, when you're going into, you say, I want a 300-day aged Wagyu New York strip. Yes, sir, Mr. Reynolds. Here's your bill. It's $318. Like $1 a day.
Yeah.
So the more age, the more expensive they get.
So I'm used to the McTriple. So
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
So.
Yeah. How far does Anchor's age there? Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. All right, I'm going to get now. You brought in. You see, I brought in Martin's potato rolls, but you like I can see you're the brioche guy.
Yeah, I like
Kaiser rolls. Yeah.
I like the bread or the bun, and again, this is not getting too deep. They have a little bit, add something to it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, they smell good. Smell it. They smell good.
My buddies at Food City,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Absolutely. Food City. Oh, Mickey and the boys in the meat department.
I see Mickey all the time.
I love that. I love that.
Mickey helped me get the job, Food City.
I love that meat rack.
I don't know
they
if
got.
I should thank him or curse him, but go ahead.
The meat count they got in there. I just love it.
See, the bread just has a little texture to it. It's
Oh man, I nailed that one, Jim. I
There you
nailed
go.
that one.
See, I'm for, here's what I'm for. Putting the burger on there, let some of the juice kind of soak
Okay,
in.
well go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just using my fingers.
That's. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's
Imagine that here.
shocker.
Let's see, there's the bottom. There you go. You make them like you want to make them. I don't. I'm a.
Well, then the last one's yours, the smallest one.
I'm a. Well, here, let's go ahead. I can cut that right now. There's another cap over there. I'll put that over here. I am a tomato on everything guy. Are you a tomato guy?
Yes, I am. See, what I'll do, since it's just me and Squeak and Jake, my dog, when I buy burgers, if I'm going to fire up the grill and I'll do all that kind of stuff, I'll make 6 or 8. I'll eat them cold the next morning. Serious talk. On the way to work, I eat more meals standing up and in my car than anyone I know. I rarely have a sit down, me and Squeak, burning the candles formal meal. Rarely. It's always in front of the TV, and that's my fault, because I'm a terrible parent, and single.
But Squeak's a great sports fan. You're raising a great sports fan.
I'm not sure. I think she'll take hers based on the fact that I find the dishes in her room on occasion. I think she takes the food in her room. I found something the other day. I wasn't sure what it was. I think it was cereal that was in a pink bowl, and I literally had to chisel it out.
Now on your cheese, go ahead and put that other one on there. There's the third one there. On your cheese, are you normally a cheese on the grill guy or cheese afterwards? I'm a cheese afterwards guy. I don't melt it on there. What do you like to melt it on the burger? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We could have done that. But go ahead and put the cheese on there so it'll get a little melty.
Oh,
I've already got them sliced out for you.
See what I do.
Oh, okay.
Being the Christian person I am, that didn't work very well, but I usually put the cross.
Oh, okay. It's a little symbolism.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
And that's how I usually put it on the grill and melt it. And I'll use good old fashioned, hard, sharp cheddar.
Okay. All right. Now, what do you do? Do you do lettuce? I didn't get any lettuce.
I'm not a lettuce guy.
Because a lot of
I
people,
am a tomato guy.
A lot of people put lettuce on the bottom, so the juice doesn't get to the bun. I like the juice on the bun.
Same
as you.
Yeah.
Sometimes even if I'm doing them on a griddle, I'll get that bun and I'll let it soak up that grease. If I'm making smash burgers or something, the greasier the better.
Or sometimes on the grill, I'll toast it for just 2 seconds and then put it on there. So yeah.
Now what kind of a condiment guy you got? We got mayonnaise, yellow mustard, we got ketchup, and we got Grey Poupon.
Okay. If I'm eating them hot, like I said, I usually make some for the next morning on the way to work. If I'm eating them hot, I'm a ketchup and a little mayonnaise guy. If I'm eating them cold, which when I go to work in the morning, I don't warm them up. I don't put them in the microwave, grab them out of the refrigerator.
Oh, you don't warm them up? Okay.
I don't even warm them up. I eat them cold with mustard on them.
Gives you a little more zap.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a big debate in the UTC training room one time about cold chicken. And they go, JR, I just have to walk into it. JR, do you eat chicken cold? Absolutely, they go. You don't warm it up or anything. So if there's if I've made chicken or there's chicken leg in there and it's cold, yeah, it's cold. You don't warm it up. You don't put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. Nope. 20 seconds. Nope. Cold.
But it's already cooked, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not eating raw chicken, but
Yeah.
chicken the next day. Yeah, I'll eat it cold. I'll eat hamburgers cold. I'll eat pizza cold. I'll eat spaghetti cold. I'll eat anything cold.
Cold pizza's the best.
Oh,
Macaroni and cheese good cold too.
I can
That's
do
one of
that.
my favorites.
I can do that too.
Right out of the bowl over the sink with salt. now I always go. I'll do the Grey Poupon thing. Okay.
Oh,
so I must go.
You're such a snob.
Yeah, and I'll go here first, and I mean I'm just a dab or two, just a little bit, and then I go with the tomato on top of that, and then I will take my grilling addiction, and I'll use it as my salt.
Yeah, I'm all in.
And I stick that on there and smash it down.
I smash it down, but
Yeah.
that's for my purposes, not.
Now I'm gonna try this one first, okay? Because I always usually cook. Everybody tries mine first, so I'm gonna be the guest, and I'm gonna try it. All right, ladies, y'all ready?
I wish it was a little bigger because it's a little. It's kind of the Where's the Beef commercial.
No, that's okay. This is all right. I got to push to the front.
It's pretty simple. Like I
good.
said,
Simple's the best.
meat.
Simple's the best.
I like meat. And again, when I cook a steak or eat a steak, salt and pepper. I don't put garlic or this or blue cheese or all that kind of stuff. If I'm going to Logan's Roadhouse, do you want X, this, that? No. Give me some salt and pepper, and I'm all good. I mean, that's literally, that's me.
That's good. Make yours. I'm gonna get a paper towel.
So I'm a tomato guy. So I'm one of those. I like a lot of ketchup, but so I'll even do ketchup on the side and dip. Yeah, I understand. The little juice coming out, that's good.
It's a little dipper, huh?
Oh,
There you go.
here for my hand.
Now, Squeaks, what do you like on yours? No, seriously, what do you like on yours? Ketchup?
When you're at the Hunter School cafeteria,
Yeah. Ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise. What? Or nothing?
nothing. You're not.
You're not interested in a hamburger?
She's not a bread person. I'll say that.
Oh, okay.
Am I right?
I think that bread is just outstanding.
Because a lot of time, even with the Subway sandwiches and stuff, if you get something from the bread, most of the time the bread is just something to put the condiments on or something to put the burger on. If you can get some texture, some flavor, something out of the bread, then yay, then you've moved up a notch.
I like that, Kaj. I think I may go with the Kaiser next time.
Yeah.
At the house. I like it.
People Food City, they'll make it special for you.
Well, there you go. Hamburgers on a Saturday morning with Jim Reynolds. Jim, thank you so much for getting up and coming over to the store. We appreciate it. Great stories as always.
This will be the best meal I eat all day. I'll say that, thanks to you. So,
If you like hearing those stories, you like hearing even more, tune in on every morning from 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 102.3 with Jim, Kevin, and Brian Joyce. They do this all morning long. All right, thank you so much.
and
Jeff.
swat the flies away.
Squeaks, thanks for coming. Emma, play the outro.
Steve, you're my hero.
There you go. You bet. We'll see y'all next Saturday right here.
Come on.
The Allison's Barbecue. So, Pete will be back. Dry steaks. Making the comeback.
know you're
Next
on
time.
the road.
Come see us.
You're going up and down.
Sweet honey, let's take it real soon. You know we got what you need, baby.
Got your name on it.